Hey guys, what's going on? It's Coach Shack coming to you live and in color from my hideaway deep in the heart of Lower Arthur, Tennessee. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of a local sports coffee shop. You know, I don't take for granted when I get on here. I'm blessed to have the listeners I have and the viewers that I have, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you and your support of the show, whether it be seeing me in public, being a sponsor, whatever you're doing. That's a little bit spider web. Whatever you're, I'm greatly appreciative, and I thank you so much. Got a good show tonight. We got some stuff to talk about. Got some big stuff to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about Harlan County's run in the Sweet 16 for our 13th region, what that means for all of us in the region. I think it's important. I think it's something that we all can hang our hat on and say, hey, we got something special right here. You know, talk about that. I'm excited to talk about Kentucky basketball, of course. Lord mercy, if it ain't been one thing, it's been 37 others. But we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. We're going to talk about Pineville sports, Pineville spring sports. Baseball and softball are going at it right now. Track is getting after it. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And then my last part of the show is always the Watts Brewing. We may talk about anything, and I've got one topic at the end of this show that I really want you to pay attention to. So when we get to that point, I want you, I want your attention. I want you to hear what I got to say. And you usually do listen to me, and I don't know why, but you really do listen, so I appreciate that. But this time I got something serious I want to talk about, so tune in for that as well. So again, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it, fellows and fellettes. Thank you. I sincerely do. Before we get going, though, we can't go on unless we mention our amazing sponsors, the people that make this show possible. What they do. Of course, our title sponsor is Home Helpers, Lemonade's Boutique, the Blue Room Billiards Hall, Pineville Pawn Shop, and we will be adding a couple of sponsors this week as well. So we're excited to unveil that as that comes in. Again, if you are interested and you're a business and you want to support the shop, I appreciate that. You can email me at shane.shackford@icloud.com. If you want to just send a donation, whatever you want to do. Like I said, I'm not going to beg for money. I enjoy doing this every Wednesday night. It gives me something to do, and I enjoy talking. And so, I'm good with that. So, again, so if you want to join in and you want to be a part of the show, hey, I'm with you, baby. Listen, my phone's been on the fritz, Bobby D. I'm on iMessage. So yeah. I'm still kicking, not too high, but I'm still kicking. So, so much for your sponsorship, and of course, we would be wrong, if missed, if we don't. Home Helpers, and home is where your heart is. With Home Helpers in Southeast Kentucky, your loved ones can continue to enjoy the comforts of home as they age. Caregivers provide exceptional care where and when needed to help make life easier. From companionship to housekeeping to meal prep and transportation, we'll create a care plan that is tailored to fit your needs and budget. Keep the heart of your family at home with Home Helpers. Call 606-657-9441 today for a free in-home consultation, or find us at homehelpershomecare.com/London, Kentucky. Home Helpers, making life easier. Thank you guys so much for your support. Can't thank you enough for what you do for the show. Let's start talking. Let's get after it. First thing I want to talk about is 13th region, and we talk a lot about, we've talked at length for a while. Talked a lot about what's going on and the play of various teams. I think we would be amiss if we did not talk about Harlan County. And I know I'm a Pineville guy. I'm a Pineville guy. I am. But anybody that knows me knows that my roots run to Harlan County. And I grew up in Harlan County. I played at Harlan High School in the 90s. And a lot of my friends still follow this show that I played basketball with and played baseball with. And I coached at Harlan County High School, and we were fortunate, in 2017 to make a run to Rupp Arena and be the first Harlan County school to get there under Coach Michael Jones. So it means something. I'm not going to lie to you. It means something. It should mean something to all of us, and here's why. They're mountain kids. They're mountain kids. Now, we can be rivals all day long. We can. There's rivals that we have in the region that we're just rivals. That's just kind of the way it is, And, that's the thing about it. We may be rivals or whatever, but again, it's just something to it, that when Harlan County had the shirt that said Harlan County versus all y'all. We could have had that shirt made for the 13th region versus all y'all. Because I feel like we are slighted as a region across Kentucky. I really feel that way. I do. I feel like that we are not recognized as a good region. And we've got history galore. We do. We go back. We've sent some dynamite teams to Rupp Arena. We've sent them over the years. We've sent some seriously good teams, boys and girls, that have been as good as anything in Kentucky. But again, I feel like the region is not recognized for the type of talent that is in our area. I don't. I really don't. So for what Harlan County did, getting to a state final, there's an old saying that a rising tide raises all the vessels. And I really feel that way. And I feel like, them host bust that last glass ceiling. They went through everything and almost got there. Got beat by a Lyon County team that is led by Travis Perry, the all-time leading scorer in Kentucky history. And he played out of his mind. His compatriots played out of their mind, and they did. I've looked at the stats and everything, and there's some things there that, a little iffy. But big picture, we were there. As a region, we were there. And to see the region come together, Harlan County people come together and go to Rupp, and I tell you what I'd like to would have done. I would have liked to have been, where on I-75, where the scales are, where the big trucks, get weighed and they go on, whatever. I would have liked to have seen, just watching the camera, county tags went 75 after Harlan County beat Evangel Christian in the Saturday morning semis. I promise, if you would have took a census of Harlan County, that would have took a hit. There was a lot of people gone, from Cumberland all the way to Everett's, everywhere. And I think that's awesome. I do. A lot of Bell County people there. I saw a lot of Bell County people there when Cameron and Andrew and I went. We went for the first round game, and that's when I did my. We saw many people from the mountains. For us in the mountains, the Sweet 16 is a celebration. Guys, I saw Chris Goodman. I'm gonna mention his name. I hope he gets. I saw Chris, and we graduated '91 together, played ball together, and everything. And he's in Russell, around Ashland and doing well for himself. Engineer at CSX, I think CSX, Chris, if I'm wrong. Nonetheless, his wife Julie's up there, they're raising her family and everything. And we just talked, we saw each other passing in a vestibule, if you will, and we just talked and had the best time. I think it's wonderful. I do. To be honest with you, I was a little bit on the fence about Kentucky high school basketball in the Sweet 16. I was, because I was thinking, man, do we need to class this thing? Do we need to class Kentucky basketball? Class A state champ, 2A, 3A, 4A, ever how far you want to go out, 5A, 6A, whatever you're going out to. Do we need that? Or with the model that we've had since the beginning? And I think after watching this Sweet 16, I think the value of having the Sweet 16 as a one state champion served its purpose. Catch SAA for having, the guts to say, you know what, we don't really care what everybody else is doing. We're going to keep what we got. And I feel like that's a good thing. That is a wonderful thing, that we can all come together and celebrate our kids, in a setting that is unlike any other setting in the United States of America. One state champion in basketball. And I know everybody got there says, well, so and so's football state, or so and so's. We ain't talking about all that. We're talking about one state champion for Kentucky basketball, and we got it. And I think if the KHSAA was on this show, I feel like they would say, you know what? Having Lyon County and Harlan County in a state final is good. It's good for business. I think they would. I think they would really come out and say, hey, this is great. You got Lyon County in the west, small school, Eddyville, Kentucky, out on one end, and you got Harlan County High School, not an all-A school, but, coming from a small county in the corner of southeastern Kentucky. They get to the state final. And I don't want to discredit Louisville and Lexington and Cincinnati now. I don't want to discredit those folks, because there are some serious, and when I say serious talent in those areas. I mean, like, nationally great talent. And I think that's wonderful. I see you, Timmy D. That's right. Love you, son. I appreciate you. I feel like, the talent, you can't discredit that talent. You can't. But I think every once in a while, it's good for the small community to get to the promised land, the state finals, the Saturday night. And I think that was a wonderful, wonderful thing that Lyon County and Harlan County were there. I really do. Your two best seniors, Travis Perry, Trent Noah, there. Two small schools, there. Big crowd, 15,000, I think I heard at one time. I feel like around 15,000 what I heard in the state finals, there. It was a great experience. It was. There was a lot of interest, it seemed like, in this state tournament, more so than previous years. Maybe it's because you had a mountain school that could go and do something. Great. Maybe that was the case. I really don't know the dynamic to that, but you look at the Final Four right there, state finals, or state semifinals. First game, Great Crossing, ranked in America. Steve Page, really know him through Brad Levy over the last couple of years. Tremendous guy. Love him. Got a team. Got an awesome basketball team. Won 30 games out of the 11th region. I mean, they are loaded for bear. I had a great team. Evangel Christian out of Louisville, small, tiny Class A school. They're in it. And then, of course, Lyon County, Harlan County, and that business because you had the larger areas represented and the smaller areas represented. And I think that's always good, any way you look at that. So, again, and then even Evangel Christian had kind of a Harlan County flair or mountain flair, if you will. Their athletic director, Joe Washington, played football at Lynch High School in the heyday of the Lynch Bulldogs winning state titles in the 50s and 60s and was a tremendous athlete, went to college, had a great career, and, met some of the kids, as they came through from Harlan County. So, there was a lot of feel good, in this. And I thought that was great. But, I feel like, that we need to kind of, I think the picture of this thing is Trent Noah. And I feel like that what he did, really nothing short of legendary. And there's been a lot of kids come through this area that have went on to legendary status in Kentucky basketball from the mountains. Richie Farmer, Reed Shepherd. You go on. I mean, you got Wawa Jones. You got, you can go to school and get some names. The Bird brothers from Corbin. You got Trent Noah. You got put in that category. Nick Sanford. You got put in that category. Guys that were absolute legends. And, I think Trent earned that. I really do. What he did was spectacular. Scoring 129 points in 4 games, averaging 33, if my math's right, 33 points a game. Coming down the line, 35 and 11 against the defending state champion Warren Central. Win there 67-59. And the epic game that he had against Campbell County where he just refused for Harlan County to lose. 48-9 in an 85-71 overtime victory. In the state semis against a good Evangel Christian team, put 29 points up. And then against Lyon County in state finals, he went out with a bang with 17. So 129 points. Set a Sweet 16 record for three-pointers made with 19. What can you say? I mean, what can you say that ain't been said? And, I'm going to tell you something about Trent Noah. Trent Noah is one of the most humble kids that you'd ever want to meet in your life. I had the privilege of coaching him for a couple of years. Always hardest working. Always the guy front. Did what you asked him to do. Yes or no, sir. I mean, South Carolina got a gym, guys. I mean, and we'll get into Kentucky basketball here in a minute, and I really feel like Kentucky missed one right here. I firmly believe Trent and Travis Perry can play at Kentucky. I really do. Now, some people argue with me about that, and that's cool. But I feel like Trent and Travis can play at Kentucky and not just be on the team. I'm not saying that. I'm saying get on the floor and play and help that team win. They can. South Carolina got a steal. They absolutely got a steal. And he's going to go to Carolina. He's going to be successful. Travis is going to go to Kentucky. He's going to be successful. I think that, and I actually think that glass ceiling, a Kentucky kid going to UK, that has been busted too with Reed going up there and with Reed Shepherd having the year that he's had. I think that shows that they can go up there and play and be successful. And that not only helps mountain kids, that helps Kentucky kids. And, you got Malachi Marino coming through from Great Crossing, 7-footer. That has to help, get him in a position to maybe play at Kentucky as well. So there's kids all across Kentucky. Jasper Johnson, Malachi Marino. I mean, crazy talent, crazy talent. The Tilly kid at Evangel Christian. Then the Stargard. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. There's a group of kids that can go up there at Kentucky and play, or at Louisville, or at Western. You know, Murray State, Moorhead. I mean, there's Eastern Kentucky. I mean, there's ways that our kids in Kentucky can go and be successful at a Kentucky college and do some great things. So I really feel like the coaches in Kentucky need to take an example. Dawson kid, absolutely. Vince Dawson, love that kid, heck of a player. We as coaches have been turning talent out. I really feel that way. But now I really feel like that talent can go now and go and be successful at the highest levels of D1 or D2 or wherever they go. So, I did want to mention that. And I want to mention too, Trent didn't do everything by himself. Max had a great tournament. Reggie Cottrell, another great guard, had a great tournament as well, junior and sophomore respectively. And then J.C. Carter and Caleb Johnson absolutely fought their behinds off and absolutely gave whatever they had to give. And I want to mention Brody Napier. His performances, especially as the games got bigger, he had some great performances as well. So I want to congratulate that team, and the guys that have went and, like I said, busted every glass ceiling but that very last one. And I'm telling you, at some point, a 13th region school will win their state title. They will. Now, I'm not saying who or what, but because now the die has been cast that we can go up there and play, we can go up there and be successful, we can go up there and win a state title. Confidence is the main thing, guys, and confidence doesn't happen easy. It takes time. And, we have been through the years, getting to the state tournament is a great thing. Win a game at the state tournament is even better. Get to the semifinals with 2 wins is unbelievable. But 3 wins, 4 wins in the state title have been kind of out there, and I feel like that's turning. So who knows? I mean, who's going to be next to me for high school basketball in Kentucky? So speaking of basketball, let's talk about Kentucky basketball. I know. Y'all sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to go. I see Coach Levy and Coach Levy's wife. I see her. I see you missing a couple. And thank you for your lovely input that you give me daily about Coach Cal. I couldn't go on without you. Anyways, back to the conversation at hand. Unless you've been not paying attention, Kentucky has decided to bring back John Calipari for his 16th season. After, by all accounts, was an absolute lay an egg. I don't know how to say it, against Oakland. It's not a coffee night, guys. It's a red cream soda night, so is what it is. You got to understand a couple things here at work. Yes, they brought Cal. There is a section of the fan base that is absolutely over it. They are. There's no talking them down. There's no talking them back. There's no bringing them to a reckoning, if you will. He early, Lamar, I think he was, but I think that he did been Travis really well. He really did. I thought Harlan County did a good job on Perry. I really did. Perry's just that good. Sometimes when you're good, you make shots. Kind of what it is. But back to Kentucky. Um, you know, there's a section fan base. There's guys that I've been friends with for years that have decided they're done with Kentucky. They're done. And they have valid reasons. I mean, they're upset with Cal. They're upset with the level of play. They're upset with the losses. I see it. I do. It's sports. It's sports. And then there's that other group that is out there that will absolutely do or die. John Calipari is him, and he's the best coach we've had. We're not where we're at without him, and they're right too. I mean, that group's right. You have, half and half, and then you have that middle group, and I think that's where I'm at. It's almost, and I was talking to Brad Levy about it. It's almost like it's apathetic. It's kind of, it's Kentucky. You know, some people have been so upset, that sleep has left them and they're just mad. Okay, that's cool. But as far as the way I go, I ain't lost sleep over it. I ain't. And that's probably a bad thing to be apathetic. Be kind of like, whatever. I don't want to be that way. I don't like being. I want to be in or I'm out. I can't be lukewarm. And right now, I am lukewarm with Kentucky basketball. I really am. Mark, coming back next year, in my opinion, and it's just one man's opinion, Reed's gone. Dillingham's gone. And I've kind of waffled a little bit about Reed. Dilly's gone. Dilly in the NBA draft, and by all accounts. If Reed can stay within the top five, he's gone. Anything lower than top five, I think he comes back. Okay. Wagner's gone. Edwards is gone. I feel like Bradshaw's gone. One way or the other. Transfer or NBA, one way or the other, he's gone. Ugana is coming back, I think. And that brings Big Z back because Cal's coming back. So you had two 7-footers right there coming from Ohio at 6'10". And then Santos Cyril, who is an absolute monster at about 6'10", 250, he's coming. So, again, now Ugana, if he projects first round NBA, he may go. And you still have 3 7-footers. So you're going to have a backlog of bigs right there. So, I think Edwards is gone. I think their pride alone, I think they're gone. And then from there, it's up or down. Just what I say. You go or Z, we're gone, yeah. And I see, like I said, Reed, Edwards, Bradshaw, Big Z, Thero comes back, I think. I like Thero. Thero will play himself into the NBA lottery. That's my prediction for next year. I like that kid. I like it. So, yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at. But getting back to Cal, I'll be honest with you. I think we had to get another big. I agree. I'd like to get a power forward, not a center, a skilled 6'9", 4'5" power forward. I'd like to have that. That's my wish list. I think you always have a better team when you've got a good, solid power forward. Not a center playing power forward, a power forward. Like this guy right here was. He was a power forward. He did what his job was. So, like Tim Duncan. I know Tim's not coming through the pipe right now, but that's what I'd like to see. Anyways, back to Cal. I think he's got to win. And I'll be honest with you, I was not sitting. I was not sitting in the meetings with him and Barnhart, of course, but I have to imagine that to the effect of, look, you got to win. Look, you got to be the leader of this program, not just for certain kids, not just for getting freshmen to the NBA. You got to be a program guy now, and he was a program guy. If you remember when Cal was first at Kentucky, the Wall years, all the way to almost a year after Anthony Davis and that group, he built the program. He built it back, and he did use freshmen. Yes, he did. And sprinkled in there, Terrence Jones, uh, Darius Miller. You have veteran leadership in there. He's got to bring some vets in there that can lead, and big, strong leaders. And I don't want to discredit Antonio Reeves at this, because I think Antonio Reeves is one of my favorite Kentucky players ever. He is. Love Darius Miller. And Antonio, I hope he gets a shot in the league. I really do, because he's going to make somebody of a 10 to 12 year guy, Dominic Hawkins. A 10 to 12 year guy in the league that is a winner. You want that guy. I hope that Antonio is able to get that opportunity. But I think Cal's on the hot seat, guys. I have to think that. And I also will say this. I was talking to, I think, Brad too about this. There is a line, and Wayne Gentry, I was telling him, there is to me, a line of succession for the next head coach at the University of Kentucky. At Kentucky, you cannot afford to just willy-nilly and just say, okay, you're done. You're done. Unless there's some kind of egregious crime that, is just awful, god awful, terrible, that you have to say, okay, you got to go now. But in this situation, it's a little more subtle, because you have to find the guy you want. And then it's kind of like you groom all the back channels to find that guy and bring him in. And then when and if John Calipari moves on, you have that guy, not necessarily right when Cal walks off, next guy walks up. Not that. But within a week, you know. You know who that is. You know who that guy is. I don't know who that guy is in college basketball right now. I don't. The names Jay Wright, Billy Donovan, Brad Stevens, you hear those names. They're not coming back to. They're not. I really don't feel that way. I feel like that in the big picture of things, they've got it made where they're at. Why? Why would they want that? So, I don't think so. I think there's another group out there of coaches. I think I'll mark Fuse in that category. I think you'll hear Scott Drew's name when it comes time. Tommy Lloyd from Arizona. Nate Oates. But I tell you what, though, what broke on Oates today, him saying that he bought guns for his players at Alabama. I don't know, man. I don't know if you can get Nate Oates now. All the, you talk about everybody up in the air. It's got that's got to go away in a hurry. About Nate Oates, it really has to, So there's a group of coaches out there. I think you'll hear Bruce Pearl's name, of course. I tell you a name I like, Todd Golden at Florida, good young coach, knows what he's doing. And speaking of the Nate Oates, background type stuff, Chris Beard. About 3 years ago, Beard was the next guy at Kentucky when Cal left. So, I think that, he might be, if he can get his record cleaned up, who knows, I mean, but anyways, I think there will be channels that have to be gone through. People have to be dealt with before that happens. You just don't just fire Cal. You can't. You can't. The only person you could fire Cal for without having a just cause and just saying, okay, we're done. You got to have Rick Pitino now. Pitino for about 4 years is about what you would have to have to get a hold of the program and hold on to the program until you could get the next guy in. And even then, that's another line of succession that has to happen over a 3-4 year period. So it's kind of my opinion. I could be wrong, but I just kind of see it that way. Maybe I've seen too many documentaries in my time and stuff. But anyways, I go on. What are we talking about? Oh, we need to talk about, and I just saw my girl Rachel Howard pop up here, and my guy Bobby D. Let's talk about Pineville sports. Let's talk about Pineville spring sports. Well, I had it on there. You got a lot going on down there in the GM City, guys. Got a lot going on. Got baseball, you got softball, you've got track, you've got the football facility going to be being redone, probably start next week, first of the month. A lot of good things going on in Pine Vegas, and excited for that. That's awesome. And, getting 23 kids on softball roster, that's great. That's great. And, Bobby, you're doing a heck of a job. And, I can't say that enough. You look, I'll get to softball in just a second. Right now, currently, Pineville baseball's at 2-5. They've got a win. They got a win late last week over Redbird, and then fell at Jackson County, and I think they play tomorrow and Friday. Right now, again, you got 3 seniors, got a young team. Coach Sante Zachary, is building a program, continuing to build. It just takes time. It's a process, so we wish him the best of luck here. Statistically right now, in batting average is led by Logan Littles hitting .533. Wyatt Caldwell has a home run and leads the team with 7 RBIs. Total hits, Logan Littles leads with 8. You've got Caden Robbins leading with 7 stolen bases. Logan Littles has had 6 doubles. And then Wyatt Caldwell has a triple. And then in walks, Caden Robbins and Nazir Wilson. I think about to do the Carolina Nas Wilson has 6 walks apiece to lead the team. So, that being said, pitching wise, the 2 wins come from Tristan Johnson and Logan Littles. Innings pitched, Caden Robbins has 9.1 to lead the team. Strikeouts, Caden Robbins leads with 19. And walks, Robbins and Littles have 10 apiece. And in innings pitched, Robbins has 9.1 for the baseball team. Now, getting to softball. Got a girl that transferred that was on Mark's show. What you doing, G? I see you, big dog. Man, that's good. Legend. My bad, legend. I know you're dying. I know. But anyways, Coach Greer, good friend of mine, tickled to death for his accomplishments, this year. So I hope you get to see the part about Harlan County. I think it was pretty good. Nice little conversation there. So rewind this thing at the end. So anyways, let's get back. Pineville softball. 2-2 right now. Got a big win at Williamsburg, 14-3. Playing good softball right now. They're playing really good defensive softball. And, of course, pitching wise, I think they got one of the best pitchers in the state of Kentucky. You show me better. You might show me as good. You're going to show me a lot better. Rachel Howard is dealing like a blackjack dealer in Las Vegas. She's dealing. Right now she's 2-2 with 55 strikeouts and 11 walks. 25 innings innings pitched and an ERA of .84. Yeah, she's a real deal, guys. She's going to play D1 somewhere. She's just a sophomore. By the time she's a senior, unhittable in this area, maybe in Kentucky. And she'll be playing somewhere. Somebody's going to pay her to play softball, at the D1 level. So excited for that. Hitting wise, Rachel leads with a 667 average and 3 RBIs apiece from Nadine Johnson and Mally Smith. Howard leads with 6 hits, and Addison Sloan has a double on the year. And base on balls, have 3 kids tied with 2 apiece, and Johnson has 5 stolen bases. So again, playing excellent softball right now. If you get a chance to get out and see them play, I think I saw where, if Mark's still on here, you can tell me if I'm wrong, Mark. They will be covering Friday at Pineville. Playing, who are they playing? Cumberland Gap? Who are we playing, Bobby D? Tell me. I can't remember. I know we got it. But anyways, that game will be covered on all sports media, and I'll be there as well. I'll do a little bit of something. I'll do something because Liz says I can't be quiet. So it's what it is. But like I said, spring sports are going Friday at Barberville. My bad. That'll be covered. I saw that online. So again, softball. Come see them. Come see about it. Like Bobby D likes to say, come see about it. Pineville baseball. Come support them kids. So spring sports, good time to get out anyways. Eat your bag of popcorn. Smell the night air. It's not a bad situation. So come see these kids. Let's go on. Let's talk about our segment entitled What's Brewing? This is where I just go ham. And, I figure boys play at home Friday at 6 too. So, yeah, I definitely need to come see that. Actually getting a doubleheader 2 for 1. So, anyways, what's brewing? All right, first thing we'll talk about is the NCAA tournament. Raise your hand if your bracket is busted. Mine's up. I can't raise it too high. My shoulder's messed up. But my hand's up. I know your hand's up too. So if you're honest. Now, if you come at me and say, oh, my bracket's perfect right now. No, you're not. You're lying. And Jesus sees you. You can't say that. But anyways, yeah, my bracket's gone. It's not gone. It's gone. I hate that. You a lie. Hunter, Fudge, you're lying. You are a liar. I know better. Of course, you've got Tennessee going to the national championship. I can guarantee you that, but we won't talk about that right now, will we? But anyways, yeah, my bracket's gone. But thank God ESPN has the second chance Sweet 16, baby. I have hope. Blow that one too. But anyways, I digress. In the East, in the men's Sweet 16, in the East, you got Connecticut, San Diego State, and Illinois and Iowa State. If I'm picking that, and I don't think you should listen to my picks, because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking Connecticut, Illinois for a chance to go to the Final Four. Give me Connecticut. In the West, North Carolina, Alabama, and Clemson, Arizona. If I'm picking that one, give me Alabama and Arizona, with Arizona going to the Final Four. In the South, you got Houston and Duke, and North Carolina State and Marquette. I'm going to go Houston, Marquette in the regional final, and with the Houston Cougars going to the Final Four. And then in the Midwest, Purdue, Gonzaga, and Creighton and Tennessee. I think I'm looking at Purdue and Creighton to get to the Elite Eight, and then from there, give me the Purdue Bowl. So my Four. It's going to be videoed, so everybody will say, yeah. I know. Connecticut, Arizona, Houston, Purdue. That's my Final Four. Liz's Final Four, I think she had North Carolina going national championship. So I'm not sure who she had. She had South Carolina winning to the national title game, so I don't think she really even cares anymore. But, you know. The women's Final Four. I've been watching the women's tournament, and if you ain't been watching the NCAA women's tournament, you've missed some good basketball. There's been some really good basketball being played at the women's level. And there have been some really good teams in there and some talented ladies that, like Caitlin Clark. I mean, if you don't know who Caitlin Clark is, what are you doing with basketball? Well, go watch badminton or paddleball or something. Caitlin Clark's the real deal. But anyways, I digress to that. Sweet 16 in Region 1 is South Carolina and Indiana, and OSU, Ohio State, and Notre Dame, or no, Oregon State and Notre Dame. And then in Region 4 is Texas, Gonzaga, and North Carolina State and Stanford. Region 2, Iowa and Colorado, and LSU, UCLA. And in Region 3, USC, Baylor, and UConn and Duke. My Final 8 would be in Region 1, South Carolina, Notre Dame, with South Carolina getting to the Final Four. Texas, Stanford is my picks to get to the Elite 8 out of Region 4, but Texas making to the Final Four. Iowa, LSU is going to be very interesting. If you remember the national title game last year, a lot of trash talk, a lot of back and forth, but a lot of talent on that floor. Give me the Hawkeyes. Give me Caitlin Clark. And you have Southern Cal and UConn is who I would have in that Elite 8 with the UConn Huskies, Lady Huskies going to the Final Four. So Final Four is South Carolina, Texas, Iowa, Connecticut. That's 4. So that's what I'm thinking. And we're getting ready to talk a little bit about some headlines going on right now. Currently in Division I men's basketball, there are 28 openings. One just got filled today. We'll talk about that. That is at the University of Louisville. Pat Kelsey, the longtime coach at College of Charleston, by all accounts, by all media accounts, will be the next head coach at Louisville. There is a press conference scheduled for tomorrow at the practice facility to name the new head coach. And thought Josh Schertz was going to be in the running for it. Thought Josh was right there. He would have done a heck of a job. I'll tell you right now at Louisville, he would have done a heck of a job. So, but the talk is that Schertz is going to St. Louis. So, but I'm sure he won't announce anything until Iowa State's done in the NIT. So, Michigan named Dusty May their head coach. Very, very good coach. Heard all the craziness supposedly about death threats out of Louisville and stuff. Crazy stuff. Crazy. Kentucky girls basketball, women's basketball. Got them a coach, Kenny Brooks from Virginia Tech. In 22 seasons, 517, 204, 5 Colonial Athletic Tournament titles, 4 Colonial Championships, 1 ACC Tournament title, 1 ACC Championship, and 10 NCAA appearances, and 1 Final Four. Kenny Brooks will do a dynamite job at Kentucky. I really feel that way. Brooks is the real deal. So that's just good stuff for Kentucky. So, and my last thing I want to talk about before I close the shop up is the situation that's going on in Monticello at Wayne County. Before I get going on my spiel, Rodney Woods, if you don't know, was unceremoniously let go from his job today as head basketball coach at Wayne County High School by the superintendent. By all accounts, the superintendent had about a 10-year vendetta. For some reason, I'm not sure all the reasoning. I'm not going to get into all that because I don't know. But supposedly a 10-year vendetta against Coach Woods. And when he got to be superintendent, he pulled out the axe. Rodney Woods has won 917 games as a head basketball coach. Rodney Woods made or built back after Kenny Davis Wayne County basketball. He did. 38 seasons on that sideline. Rodney Woods done it the right way. He took care of his kids. His program was spotless. His facilities were top notch. He meant as much to Wayne County as any other person, political or otherwise. When you said Wayne County, I guarantee you within the first three names that you'd mentioned, Rodney Woods is in that conversation. He is. Years ago, when I was at Millsboro with Coach Thompson, Russell Thompson, Wayne County come up and played us a couple of times in scrimmages. And I was in awe. I'd heard about Rodney Woods at Lone Jack. I'd heard Rodney Woods point guard at Tennessee in the Bernie and Ernie show, SEC leader in assists. I mean, the guy, he was all that in a bag of chips. So, but he's always very kind to me. He treated me well. He always spoke to me as a person, and I love hearing him talk, just basketball, talk about life, And for what happened today at Wayne County is an absolute travesty that should not take place. There's an old saying that power corrupts absolutely, and that's the truth. When you have the ability to take a shot at a guy that ain't done nothing but right by the school, done nothing right by the kids, because he don't fit your whatever, or you got a problem with him, so I'm gonna blunt cut it. It's wrong. It's wrong. And to a coach in the state of Kentucky, we all feel the same way. So, I wish nothing but the best for Coach Woods. If he doesn't come back to Wayne County, he's going to go somewhere and he's going to keep winning. He's going to keep doing it the right way. If he wants to go that way, he don't have to go that way. If he wanted to say, you know what, I'll throw you the keys, I'm done. And if he wanted to do that, he's got every right in the world to. He's accomplished it. Been there, done that. But he's still a dynamic coach and a great person. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope that this gets situated the right way. I hope it comes back to Coach Woods being back on the sideline at Wayne County. That's the conclusion I'd like to see, but I don't know if that can be possible. But if he can't be at Wayne County, I hope he's somewhere, and I hope he's doing well. So, again, he'd probably get mad at me for saying all that, but I've been making people mad since 1973, so I can just make you mad. But anyhow, time to close this joker up. I got a question for you. When Rick Pitino was hired as Kentucky's coach, two coaches turned him down before Pitino took the job from Providence. Who was it? Who were the two coaches? Let me get that up here. Who were the two coaches to turn down Kentucky before Rick Pitino was hired? Year was 1980, 89, 88, 89. No, 89. coming off a losing season. Eddie Sutton was fired. Who were the two coaches that turned down Kentucky and got hired? Your answer is, I bet you some guys do know it. The answer is Lute Olson, P.J. Carlissimo. Lute Olson coached at Alabama. Kay and Dean Smith, good guess. Lute Olson from Arizona. Lute was actually on campus, and people thought that he would take the job, and he backed out. Carlissimo was at Seton Hall coming off a national title appearance. He decided to go to the NBA. So there are your two coaches that were to possibly take the Kentucky job before Rick Pitino. So, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in with me tonight. I've enjoyed it again as usual. I mean, it's always an honor to get on here and talk sports with you all, talk about life, talk about stuff. And I appreciate you taking a few minutes to hang out with me. Again, I really want to thank our sponsors, the people that help make this show possible. Home Helpers, Lemonade Boutique, the Blue Room Billiards Hall, and Pineville Pawn Shop. And again, we'll have a couple of more announcements for sponsorship here in the next couple of days. We're excited about that. If you are interested in helping out the show in any way, holler at me on email, shane.shackford@icloud.com, and I can get with you. We can talk, whatever you want to do. If you just want to say, hey, you're doing a good job, that's support to me. That's sponsorship. So, thanks. I appreciate it. Again, I want to thank our title sponsor, Home Helpers. And when you're looking for senior care for an aging parent or a loved one, or if you're a new mom or a working parent who could use an extra hand, Home Helpers of Southeast Kentucky are the caregivers to help you. For seniors, family, and those recuperating, Home Helpers plans are tailored just for you. Call Home Helpers for a free in-home consultation at 606-657-9441. Home Helpers, making life easier for you. Call Home Helpers today, 9441, or visit us online at homehelpershomecare.com/London, Kentucky. Thank you guys so much for title sponsorship for the local sports coffee shop. So, get a chance, you're all over social media, follow the shop. I mean, we're trying to get out there. We're on Facebook, of course. You're there now. Instagram, X, which is Twitter to me, and YouTube. We are getting ready to branch out into the podcast business. I think we're going to be going on to Spotify and then iTunes as podcast. So we'll have those opportunities. If you're listening to a podcast, you're working out, whatever, you're driving down the road, you get real bored, want to hear something from me, you'll have that opportunity. So we'll announce those things as they become available. Next week we'll be talking Pineville Spring Sports, maybe have an update coming from the facility as far as what's being done at for our new football facility. Of course, we'll keep up any happenings in the 13th region, of course, in Pineville baseball, softball. We'll be keeping up with those as well. Like I said, we'll be there Friday night. Maybe do a spot there. So, we're excited to be doing that as well. Again, guys, listen, I thank you so much for hanging out with me, and follow me. Keep up with me, and we'll talk good sports, and we'll talk about better coffee. And I'm sorry, wasn't a coffee night tonight. I wanted to go red, kind of in honor of Rodney Woods at Wayne County, Cardinal Red. So there it is. I thank you very much. I wish you nothing but joy and peace and love, and I'll see you next week. Appreciate it.
Give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around. Give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around. Said I don't wanna leave you lonely. You gotta make me change my mind. Baby, I got your number. Oh, and I know that you got mine. I called too many times.